is beautiful because we have this beautiful form where we can fill out our name, for example. How it's invalid since there is nothing inside. I'm gonna place Delton, and here you can see that the full name goes here down. We have this validated green border at the bottom because everything that we wrote here is correct. If we write something that's incorrect, you can see that we have this red border. Everything here is done with the CSS. So it's a cool course to learn CSS and web design and front-end development because I'm teaching all of these for you. Here you can see I am at least 18. So when you click, you can see that you have this green. You have the option to click on contact, and we have this background video where we see a girl saying bye and stretching herself after having a video call with one of the 7 cars dealer. Probably she was dealing a Range Rover Velar, I think. Yes, she bought this car from a price that starts at this $90,000, and that's beautiful for her. So without further ado, let's open our IDE and start to code. Here the name of the section is not find us, but I'm gonna say is contact. So let me write contact is not find us. Here I'm gonna have contact next. I'm going to have contact us, save, and this is not gonna be find us map. Instead it's gonna be contact wrapper. Yes, this is gonna be the wrapper class because here I'm going to put details of content. Saving and seeing, here we have it starting. So let's give some padding right here at the top and at the bottom because I want to have more separation. So I'm gonna say section contact. I'm gonna have a padding at the top and bottom of 7 rem, left and right 0. Saving and seeing, now it's much better. I have space. And inside of this content we're gonna be placing that background. The easiest way to do that is simply copying this component because we have developed it right here in our header, and let's paste here. What's gonna change is this path because now we have a female talking on a video call, and let's save. After this background video, and while we're inside of our contact, we are going to have the contact form. So let's say contact form, and here is where we're gonna put all the logic of the form. Here we have the background. So let's save and see if we have something right here. What we don't have is the video. It's right here up. Can you tell me what's happening in order to have this up? Yes, you can. And I'm gonna give you some 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you didn't figure out, that's totally normal. If you are a beginner and you didn't build with me the component video background, but if you figure it out, beautiful for you. But let's check together why this is not working how it should be. First, we must know how our component is developed. Background video has its position set to absolute. Therefore, we must prepare the parent element, which is contact, to be ready to receive the video. Other words, we are saying that the contact div right here must have a relative position. So let's treat this as a component, and I'm gonna say this is contact.scss, and right here after the card I have to insert the contact and save. I'm gonna select the contact and give a position of relative, saving. Let's see what do we have right there. This shouldn't fix all of our problem, but yes, at least we don't have right here the background video which was of that girl. Here also down we don't have. Can you tell me why this is happening? Well, we don't have any content here, so this background video is being applied to a div that has its height set to 0. We can even inspect and see what's going on. So open it and let's go to our contact right here. Contact next. This is our background video. Background video is right here inside. Here we have, do you see 1343 is the width times 0 because the height is 0. And when we developed our background video component, we can check right here. We said that its height of the video had to be 100% of its parent element. So what is the parent element of this background video? Video class is the div background video, and the div background video by hierarchy is going to take the height of contact. What's the height of contact? Is 0. Therefore, we have to set a height to contact in order to see the background video. But we're just going to be setting the height for this working purpose in order to see right here the background video. But we're going to remove after and let the contact itself define the height, because we don't want to force the height right here. So let's simply go to our background here, and the parent is the contact, so we can simply give a height of some 53 rem, save, and see how it's gonna look like right now. Let me give a 5, and here we have, I'm not just writing code here without explaining you, because there's a dozen, even hundreds and thousands of tutorials on the internet that simply do that and don't let you know what you are really doing. And that's not the type of learning that I would like to give to you. Now, we took much time talking about what was going behind the scene, and we wrote the 2 lines, even though they are small, but we need to understand what's going deeply. Next, what are we going to have is to simply start giving the width of our wrapper in order to be 85%, and margin auto because we want to centralize on the left and right. So let's simply go here, contact, and target our wrapper, give a width of, we can start with 85%, and margin is gonna be auto, and let's save. Let's see how it looks right now. Very good. So we're gonna have our form occupying 50% right here. We have now the structure of where it's gonna be visually. Yes. So we can come here and start to write that. Inside of our div contact form, we're gonna start with our h2, which is this one. Nothing is gonna change right here. In terms of classes, what we're going to be having is simply saying fill out, save it, and next we're going to have the form itself, and the form is gonna be a component. I'm not going to give an action because we don't have a server side to handle this. I'm going to say that the class of this is form, and I'm going to start creating groups. Well, here I have the div where I can fill my name, and its label is gonna be full name. These 2 elements compose a group. These 2 elements also make up a group. Each place where we have an input, we consider it as a group. So form group, and let's make the things happen. We're gonna have an input. The type is gonna be text. I'm actually gonna say the class of this is gonna be form input. Next, I'm gonna have autocomplete to off because I don't want to have the aid of my computer auto completing the things for me. I don't like that sometimes, and in this case I'm not going to have that. Other attribute that we can put is the placeholder saying full name. The ID of this is gonna be name and this is required. You can't send this form without completing that. Next, we're gonna have a label for this ID name. The class of this label is gonna be form label, and I'm actually gonna say full name. That's it. We can simply copy this, put next because it's gonna be the next group. Now we have a form input, but the type is not texty, it's email. Autocomplete also to off, email address, email with ID, and this is not required. I'm gonna change here to email address. This is label, not label, and this is gonna be for email. Nicely done until this stage. What we have next is that checkbox. So let's simply put right here, it's a form group. Input is the type of checkbox, and the class is gonna be the same. The name, I'm gonna be using how here we're talking about if it's older or not. I'm gonna say older for the ID. There is no placeholder, so let's remove. And here, do you think it's gonna be required? Obviously this is gonna be required. Next, let's put this label here. In the label, make it for our older. The class is gonna be label, and we are not going to simply put here full name, but we're actually going to put between a span nothing, because we're going to create that circle later, and that circle is gonna be the span. So let's simply give a form checkbox, and now we can put I am at least 18 years, and let's save. Finally, we have that form group, which is simply to submit the form. So form group, and this one is gonna be button, and the class is gonna be button contact, and put right here the button green. Let me save this. Very good. Start giving a dimension to this form. We're going to say that we want it to occupy 50% of the parent element. So for that, what we have to do is simply put here our form, because it's a contact and it's inside of the form, it's contact form, and let's say the width is 50%. The height obviously is gonna take up to 100% of the parent element, and we're gonna give a background color, which is gonna be that RGBA color green, and we're going to give an opacity. This can be some kind of 80%, and we can give some padding. Top to RAM, for RAM, for RAM, and for RAM. Let's save and go to our file. Okay, let's see how it looks like. Here we have nothing can be seen so well right here, and that's something that we actually have to fix. But if you see the background here, we have something that's going behind the scenes. Our background video is in front of us. What we can do is simply change the background video index in Z direction to be -1. We want to put it away from us. So let's save here and save here. This should fix our problem. Here we have. Very good. So in the next lecture, we're gonna start to work with this left side.